All right, hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well. This is Rudy. Hey, okay, I'm gonna try to calm down and use proper language. Okay, breathe. Okay. All right, Dr. Robert Jeffress of First Baptist Church in Dallas is a piece of scum. He's absolute trash. I got no use for him whatsoever. I sent him some emails and contacted his representatives about holding our May the 26th event at his church, and he said that he don't get involved in political or legal issues, that he sticks to theological issues. And now, just today, I see an article, and I'll put the link in the information bar where you can check it out yourself, where Pastor Dr. Robert Jeffress is backing Mitt Romney. Okay, and he previously called Mormons a cult, but he's backing Mitt Romney now. So he'll back Mitt Romney, but he won't let his church facilities or his endorsement go behind Sheriff Arpaio or Pastor Manning or Terry Lakin about the eligibility issue. And the reason he gave me is, well, that's a legal issue or a political issue. I got to stick to theological issues. But yet he backs Mitt Romney, which is a political issue. Okay? So Dr. Robert Jeffress, you're a hypocrite. I got no use for you. And if for some strange reason the Lord lets me in the back door to heaven and I find you there, I'm going to be moving to the other side of heaven because I don't want to be anywhere near you because you, sir, are a hypocrite. Okay? That's what I got to say about Dr. Robert Jeffress. You know, you won't talk about the eligibility of Obama because you say it's a political issue, and you don't talk about political issues because it might cause you to lose some of your church members, and it might cause you to lose some of your financial backing, okay, for that multi-million-dollar project you got going on. But when it comes to backing Mitt Romney, you don't mind backing a Mormon Mitt Romney, but you won't speak up about the eligibility issue. You are no man of God that I want to follow. You don't want to get involved in political issues when it might make you unpopular. But when it will make you popular, you get involved in political issues. You, sir, are a hypocrite of the highest degree, and I got no use for you whatsoever. That's what I got to say about Dr. Robert Jeffress of First Baptist Church. Okay, I've said my piece on that. I want to go on. Romans 13. This book right here comes with a DVD as well. It's very good. It's by Timothy Baldwin and Chuck Baldwin. And I want to read you guys a quote because you hear all of this people that try to use Romans 13 to say that we need to be submissive to government. And you need to read the whole book, but there was one sentence that really stood out and I thought I would read it. Using Romans 13 to prove the tyrant's claim that Christians must give absolute and total submission to civil government is tantamount to using 1 Timothy 5:23 to prove the wino's claim that his submission and addiction to booze is justified and even commanded by God, or to the wife beater using Ephesians 5:22 to prove that beating his wife into submission is also justified or even commanded by God. Okay? The Bible does tell us in Romans 13 that we are to submit ourselves to government, but it's not an unlimited submission, okay? And if you don't believe me, you can talk to Isaiah. You can talk to, Jeremiah. You can talk to the Old Testament prophets that spoke out against government. And when governments go the opposite way of God, we're supposed to follow God. In the New Testament, it said it is better to follow God than to follow man, okay? So Romans 13 does not advocate unlimited submission to government. It says we need to submit ourselves to government as long as government is ordained by God and following the rules of the Bible. But if a government says that you should abort your child, do you think you should abort your child? No. If government said, you need to marry a man should marry a man, are you going to do that? No, you're not going to do that. So it's not an unlimited submission to government. When the government tells you to do something that's anti-biblical, and they might even tell you to take the mark of the beast one of these days, are you going to do that? No, right? So don't be using Romans 13 about submitting yourself to government when the government is blatantly going against the Word of God. It's not an unlimited submission to government, okay? And this book, by Timothy Baldwin and Chuck Baldwin, will give you all the information you need to know from a biblical perspective of how to fight people like that don't know how to stand up and say what's right. And the last thing I want to talk about tonight is strong delusion. Okay, and you know, we live in a society where everybody's under strong delusion, and for those of us that are awake to much of it, right, it can be a little unsettling, except if you know the Lord. I just live in joy every single day. I trust in the Lord. And I want to read you guys a verse that our pastor read tonight, and I think it bears repeating because it applies to what's going on today. It's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, starting with verse 9, and I'll end with verse 11. Of course, I'm reading King James. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness, he's talking about deception, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. They don't love the truth. All these people, these zombies in the world, they don't love the truth. They just don't love the truth. Okay? Verse 11 is very powerful. Well, I'm going to read verse 12 as well. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion. Because these people didn't love the truth, and they wanted their unrighteousness, and they wanted to stay in their unrighteousness and their sin, God sent them a strong delusion. It says God shall send them a strong delusion, that they should believe it. That they should believe a lie. Okay? That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. They had pleasure in unrighteousness. So God just sent them a strong delusion that they might believe a lie. So that's what we got going on all the time nowadays. We got all these zombies that just believe all these lies and these strong delusions. And God, I guess they've taken so much pleasure in their unrighteousness and they've rejected the truth that God has sent them a strong delusion and just said, you know, believe all the lies. You didn't believe my truth, so believe all these lies. And you say, well, what strong delusions are you talking about, Rudy? What makes you think you know the truth? Well, first of all, I believe the Bible, and the Bible is the truth. But let me give you some examples of these strong delusions. The mainstream media, Fox News, CNN, and all that stuff I haven't watched in like almost 2 years now because my wife and I turned that television off. That's nothing but strong delusions. The Federal Reserve and our currency collapse, all you guys can't see it coming on, that's a strong delusion because you don't even know what's going on. If I talk to most people on the street, they don't understand we're on the verge of a currency collapse. They're believing a strong delusion. 9/11, I know some of you guys don't like to hear that. You think I'm a fruitcake. Look, there are grown men that know construction methods that I've respected my whole life, and they look at building 7 and they can't understand that thing doesn't fall down all by itself. You don't have a building just fall down all by itself just because there's a little bit of fire in there. If you could knock down a whole building from a fire, then a Bic lighter would be a weapon of mass destruction. I'll just take my Bic lighter, tear it into a skyscraper, set it on fire, and the whole thing will fall down. Are you kidding me? Buildings don't fall down from a little bit of fire. That's a strong delusion. Everybody seems to believe the 9/11 lie. Global climate hoax and the Al Gore, nothing but strong delusion. Evolution is a huge strong delusion. People think they came about by chance. You know, lightning has struck a pond and out pops a little amoeba. Give it 1 billion years and it turns into a worm or a virus. And it turns into a worm. It turns into a frog. Are you kidding me? Ain't no freaking way. Ain't no way. I don't care if you give it all of the time that you can possibly imagine, with all of the zeros you can possibly imagine. It ain't no accident we didn't just evolve from an amoeba. That's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life is evolution. All this liberalism in our universities, and they're preaching anti-American stuff, Swine flu, remember when swine flu came out? That was a strong delusion. Chemtrails, you walk out in the sky and it's just covered from one horizon to the other with all these freaking chemicals. And oh, that's just water vapor coming out of the engine. Are you kidding me? You guys, wake up. Wake up, wake up. They're spraying us with chemicals. They're trying to make us docile. They're spraying us like bugs. They're trying to make us docile and affect our brains. There ain't no doubt in my mind that's what's going on. I could go on and on. I don't know how much time I got. RFID chips is a strong delusion. You guys want to give up your liberty for security? You don't deserve either one. Abortion? I talked to a woman with a good head on her shoulder. She seems to be very, very smart. And I was like, well, abortion is murdering a baby. No, that's a woman's right to choose. A woman's got a right over her body. Shit. When you're driving a car and there's a passenger sitting in the car, do you have the right to drive off a cliff and take the passenger with you? Because that's what you're doing with abortion. You're going to drive right off a cliff and let me kill the baby too. You don't, look, I got a right for free speech. That don't mean I got a right to kill somebody. Yeah, a woman has a right over her body, but when she decides to have sex and get pregnant, there's another human being and you do not have the right to kill it. I can't believe people can't see that. Abortion is murder. Abortion is just flat out murder. Cancer fraud, the BPA, bisphenol A on the cash receipts. Nobody seems to be concerned about that. And all these poor cash register girls are handling those cash receipts all the time. Guarantee you they're going to get cancer later on in life. It's almost a positive thing. GMO foods, fluoride in the water, homosexuality is a strong delusion, vaccines, the Vatican Church, the Catholic Church, zeitgeist, the NDAA, the Patriot Act, aspartame. I could go on and on and on. But the Bible says that when men become lovers of their own selves and they become lovers after their own passion, that God sends them strong delusion. And if you ain't seeing through all this stuff, you might be under strong delusion. And I'm not worried because I do trust in the Lord, but I'm worried for you. And I'm worried that you're going to affect the future of my children because this planet's fixing to just spiral out of control if we don't turn back to God. God bless every one of you and have a great day.